Hi again, guys. Rainbow Heart Freedom Eagle here, and the title of this third video is actually it's video 3 of the series. So the title for all 3 videos is 3 biggest mistakes people suffering with chronic autoimmune diseases do every day and how to flip it to your advantage. I help people suffering with autoimmune disease with feeling pain and exhaustion all the time so that they can feel wellness, vitality, and increase their energy. Okay, so what is the topic of discussion? Can you see this? Remember Pac-Man and Atari, the video games back in the 80s? Pac-Man and Crew. What does that mean? What does Pac-Man do? What does it look like? Pac-Man. Big mouth, eating. Let's get to it. What's the point? What is the meaning of this Pac-Man and Crew? Detoxification. Detoxification is the quick summary. The quick summary of it is detoxification is your body's natural process of eliminating toxins and maintaining optimal thriving health. Your liver, kidneys, skin, heart, and entire digestive system is responsible for keeping the gunk out of your body. Okay, so what are a couple other names that may be more familiar? Maybe clean, purge, cleanse, release, reset. Now, what are some examples? So, how could you detox your entire body? It requires adding probiotics to your diet, cutting out processed foods, fasting regularly with the circadian rhythm, drinking lots of water, sleeping well, sweating often, and minimizing environmental exposures. Detoxing can be done in many different kinds of ways. You just have to find what's right for you. It can be done with fasting, water cleanses, saunas, and each body, everybody's body is different and at different points in time. So you just gotta figure it out for yourself for your needs at that point in time. What are 3 signs that you need to detox? Fatigue, bloating, or having digestive issues. These are signs that your body is struggling to process the toxins. Detox can help you regain balance and improve your health. What's the opposite of detoxification? The opposite. Non-example. You eat food, it goes in the body. No bowel movement. No waste. It does not get excreted. It just stays in the body. That causes imbalance, dysfunction. The waste needs to get out, otherwise there's chaos, disease. It wreaks havoc in the brain and the body. Another opposite would be, well, not totally opposite, but non-example would be a cleanse, a juice cleanse, a green juice cleanse. Why? Because it's superficial. It's just short term. Detoxification is long term. It's deeper. It's cellular. It's all the systems in your body, not just the gut. Usually when people talk about cleanses, it's more superficial and just focuses on the gut. But the detox is deeper and affects everything in entirety. Okay, another non-example would be accumulating, piling up toxins in your body through food, air, the water, your skin, body products, fumes of plastics, carpets, etc., without releasing them from your system or fast enough to be cleansed or balanced. Another example of non-example, or the opposite, is too much toxins causing autoimmune disease, chronic disease due to cellular inflammation. What does this mean? What happens when your cells are inflamed? Nutrients is not getting into the cell. Toxins are not getting out of the cell. The cell receptor sites are too full or blocked, so the gates don't open or close when they're supposed to. Things are not going in and out of the gates or connecting to the receptor sites when they're supposed to on the cell membrane, or just imagine a circle, the cell. So when there's too much toxicity, it's overloaded. The cell is overloaded. This is what causes autoimmune disease. Things aren't working properly because there's toxic overload. So remember when I was talking about moving the body to get the lymphatic system moving, to get the waste to exit naturally from the body? And then I also talked about the brain and the lymphatic system. Why it's important to eat at least 3 hours before sleeping so that the brain gets a chance, the lymphatic system gets a chance to clean and cleanse and heal and remove the plaque from the brain to keep it functioning at optimal levels. Otherwise, people who don't do this have too much trash in their brain, and that overload of toxins causes dementia, Alzheimer's, other brain stuff like memory, loss of memory, brain fog. This metabolic health is really important and can prevent mental illness. It seems so simple, but it's a discipline that most Western allopathic doctors were not taught. Functional medicine and holistic medicine doctors know this more about the importance of fasting and metabolic health and healthy brains. I don't know about you. I know it may not be easy or pleasurable to switch over and implement this in your lifestyle as a new and norm, a regular part of your daily lifestyle. But to me, I would rather keep my cognitive function at optimal operations. So what are some examples of detoxification that I can relate to from my personal experiences? When I first started taking this detox, heavy metal and toxin detox, within the first 3 weeks of starting this heavy metal and toxin detox, I had an uncomfortable protrusion poking through my skin. It reminded me of Morgellons, or the synthetic wire or metal of some non-biological material, kind of like silicone or silicon, metal or silicon. My body finally pushed it out all the way when it was ready to dislodge and release it after 1 to 2 weeks of it emerging. It was itchy, and it finally popped out. Yes, it was meant to pop out. So my body was purging this within the first 3 weeks of me taking this heavy metal and toxin detox. Okay, that was my first experience that I'm sharing. My second experience is bigu. In Chinese, bigu means grain. Translation, grain, like grains of rice or grains of wheat. So what does this mean, bigu? It means fasting. 3 days of fasting, 18 days, 30 days, goes even deeper. Why 30? I'm not saying that you have to do longer fasts. I mean, there's many different kinds of fasts. Even fasting while, you're sleeping. Like you stop eating dinner, for example, at 8 p.m. or some people stop at 3 p.m. What have you, 5 p.m. Anyways, just whenever you stop eating dinner, no more eating or drinking, just shut it down, and that's your fasting window. From then till the next day, you sleep, and then till the next day when you eat again, maybe in the morning or at lunchtime. Even that is a fast, consider a fast. Just don't be eating all the time. That's called intermittent fasting, when you stop eating after dinner and don't eat till the next day. That is an example, a simple example of intermittent fasting. It's actually very healing. Now, why am I sharing this bigu, which means grain? Why am I sharing this type of fasting? Because my teacher at the time was teaching us that once you hit 30 days, no, I'm not encouraging it, but for those of you who are more advanced and experienced in fasting and have guidance, once you hit the 30 days, it goes so deep and it goes into the bone marrow. You actually cleanse and clean the bone marrow. It's like cleaning the cells of a battery. Sure, you may feel weak, but you also may feel more energized, more focused, more clarity, because you're functioning on ketones. Your body's burning fat. It's not burning sugar. And when this happens, when you're fasting, the inflammation and the pain, the disease are gone, either decreased and or gone. That's why when people do like a water fast, certain nagging pains and diseases that have been bothering them leave, because the body actually gets a chance to heal and repair itself versus expending all its energy digesting food, which takes a lot of energy. I did mention the clarity. So that was my second example of detoxification. My third example, my personal experience, is antiparasitics without binders. I was with some friends, and they talk about, not really a strong regimen, but just talk about, taking antiparasitics. Well, just because you do something, it doesn't mean that you do it the right way. This had all the parasites and pathogens, and I already had toxic overload and different autoimmune diseases. This taking taking antiparasitics without binders, it just tipped it and made the toxic overload just really tip the barrel over, that it was one of the darkest points in my life that I wanted to commit suicide. I already mentioned this in the previous videos, either video 1 and or 2. I was teaching a class in person on how to improve your eyesight naturally without surgery or glasses or contacts, and the irony of it was my eyes looked like they were punched, and like I was in a boxing match. My skin was so flared up and so much pain, so puffy, so red, so purple, and raw, no barrier. Like, imagine taking a carrot and just peeling the skin off, and you're just walking around feeling wounded. It hurts so much, like as if there's always salt and lemon in your wounds, and it just stings like heck. It's pretty isolating, because the skin is a reflection of your gut. It just mirrors what's going on. So it took a little over a year, but I healed it, and I couldn't, it was very isolating, very depressing. Yes, it was painful physically and emotionally. It was isolating and depressing because people gather around food. They always meet up in social situations, one on one or in group gatherings, always around food. And when you're healing your gut, you have a leaky gut. Um, Sorry, had to kill the bug. Um, when you are healing the gut, you can't just eat whatever you want without any repercussions because of flares, triggering flares. Leaky gut, it's like a hose with holes, and all the blood, nutrients, toxins, poop goes through the holes, and goes to places that it's not supposed to go, hence triggering all these, reactions, histamine reactions. It looks like you have allergic flares everywhere, all aspects, all different systems in your body, interconnected. Not fun at all. So I couldn't really eat out for a long time. I had to be really disciplined to rebuild and fix and plug in the holes, like rebuild the gut lining again so that it's strong, it doesn't have all these holes. Having a wrecked gut. Sure, I was trying to do the right thing by using antiparasitics, but I was already in a weakened state because I was dealing with toxic overload, which led to all these various autoimmune diseases that I had all at the same time. And I wasn't fully educated, and the people that I was with, some people experienced the same thing I did and others did not. It just depended on what each individual was already going through. But for me, the toxic overload totally got tipped, and it was one of the dark nights of my soul. I mean, I wanted to commit suicide. And when I was teaching this class on how to heal your vision, naturally, the irony of it was my eyesight was fine, 20/20 vision, perfect, great. It's just the skin on my eyes, it was all over my face and body. I couldn't hide it, but the skin of my eyes was so puffy, red and purple, and it was leaking, oozing plasma, like not pus, but plasma. And so here I am trying to teach about vision, and yet I could barely see clearly out of my eyes due to the flare. And at the time, you don't know when the flare at its peak, when it's at its worst, you don't know how long it's going to last. You don't know if it's going to last for 3 months or just 1 day or 3 hours. Probably the shortest is 1 day when I was going through all this. And the flare, it's raw, it hurts, it has hives, it's just, extremely sensitive, hot, inflamed, pulsating, just too much. But the point is, not only was it depressing and painful and isolating, it's embarrassing. You got to find out who the real assholes are and who the true, genuine, caring people are in your life. People say, put a cream on that or take a pill. Yeah, right. These ignorant people, they don't realize it can take years to heal a leaky gut. Luckily for me, it took a little over a year. And whether it's embarrassing, painful, it just really strengthened me on so many levels. And I learned so much because I hit rock bottom because I was forced to. I was forced to learn so much to get out of it. What else? When I was teaching that class on how to improve my vision, my eyes were stinging even more because I put ointment to try to quell the puffiness and the inflammation on my eyes to hide it. It just exacerbated it. My eyes were stinging because the medicine went in my eyes, so I was tearing up even more, and people had to go get me Kleenex. Like, my goodness. This teacher's teaching us about eyesight, and she can't even see because her eyes are like all inflamed and stinging with medicine. Oh my goodness. The irony of it all. Oh, I was not laughing. Honestly, I felt sorry for my neighbors because they could hear me screaming at all hours of the night because I couldn't sleep due to the pain and frustration. Funny, not so funny. But I really did transform my lifestyle and adopt it. And I'm only continue to improve and transform my lifestyle that in ways that are more conducive to health, to wellness, to my wellness, vitality, and youthfulness. So, not knowing how to do parasite cleanses properly with binders. Okay, so I'm going to get more into that. What happens if we don't do detoxification? Like, what's the importance of this? If we don't detoxify, it can increase overall inflammation, toxify the blood, increase or maintain weight gain, induce poor sleep, lead to overall stagnation. It wouldn't be good for our organs. Our blood would slow to a crawl. Life would be unsustainable. And when you have poor gut health, that's the opposite of detoxification. It's not compatible with releasing toxins, and it leads to health issues such as allergies, migraines, mental health disorders, and digestive troubles. Our bodies need regular maintenance. Have you ever seen the companies with the septic systems coming to like wells or different houses and pumping up the septic system? That's needed. That's consistent. That's regular. That's expected. That kind of cleaning up. If they don't do that, the plaque, the gunk, it just gets caked on and thicker. You know, our bodies need regular detoxing just like our toilets do. People use Riddex for toilets, so the enzymes and the bacteria eat the sewage to help or digest and dissolve the gunk, like oil, grease, and paper in the plumbing. So, what do you do to cleanse and detox your body on the inside? I'm not talking about a physical shower on the outside. I'm talking about an inner shower for all your systems inside your body, whether it be through diet, fasting, things you ingest. We don't want our bodies to get full of unwanted gunk and pathogens that cause problems such as cancers. People I know, they have diseases of the brain such as ALS, MS, Alzheimer's, dementia. They can't move, think, or talk how they want and when they want. Often they have unwanted movements and pain like tremors, inflammation, cysts, and tumors. The Rockefellers and Rothschilds bought out the medical system in the United States to control big pharma. And the education the doctors, the allopathic Western medical doctors receive, and the education that the doctors receive. So basically it got changed, it got deleted, it got distorted, misinformed, misinformation. So when you ask the doctors these days certain questions, they don't want to answer it because one, they weren't trained. Two, they weren't trained, so they don't know. Two, they don't want to steer you in that direction. They want to steer you in the direction that they were trained to make profits for themselves and for their companies. It is what it is. In the 1800s, there were medical books documenting deworming protocols for patients as a normal, frequent, regular practice. Yes, there were. And I've been trying so hard to find this again. I will one of these days. So people who partook in these antiparasitic practices did not have cancers compared to the people who did not partake regularly in these deworming protocols in the 1800s. There are books, there are historical medical books that show this, but like I said, when the Rothschilds and Rockefellers bought this out, them and their other rich people friends colluded and changed the system. Look up the Flexner report. You can also look up, this is just an overall, there's a lot of articles that is very heavy in it, but this is just something like a quick synopsis or summary. The beyondwellnessstore.com, you can look there, and the title is How the Medical Industry Hijacked the Rockefeller Takeover, the Suppression of Natural Healing. Okay, so cancers, that's just a name. That's just a name that they give to certain diseases that affect each organ. This is new. Back in the days, the medical doctors, back in the 1800s and earlier, they would just call it parasites, eggs, worms. And in the United States, it got deleted. The information got changed in the medical system. But when you go outside of the United States, when you go to other countries, they normally take herbs, teas, protocols, medicines to cleanse parasites daily. Like, this is a norm. It's without question. It's just something they do. It's just here in the United States, the doctors would tell you, oh, you're crazy. That doesn't exist. That's because that's how they're trained. They don't know anything about it because they were not trained on it, and they want to lead you in the opposite direction and continue to profit off of people instead of you learning how to heal yourselves. Well, I'm here, Bear's here, to let you know it is possible. Once you actually get it, you can figure out how to heal each and every diseases that you have. Dr. Hulda Clark, she has many books, and she says that every disease can be healed by removing two things: parasites and toxins. Why parasites and toxins? Well, they go hand in hand. The parasite feeds off of and thrives with the toxin, and they're usually paired off together. A certain type of parasite, the specific, genus, species, specific parasites thrive and usually pair off with certain metals and or certain chemicals, certain toxins, like, I'm trying to think, let's just say rubbing alcohol and a certain kind of parasite. They go together, and usually they would have an affinity for a specific organ. And they just named it whatever disease they named it today. But really, the root cause is just all parasites. Sure, you can think this is controversial. You can do your own research. You can stop watching the video. However, I'm gonna keep moving on, and for those of you who are really serious, or maybe even just desperate in healing your cancers, your diseases, whatever health condition that you or your loved ones may have, whether it be brain and or body, let's move forward and let's unpack this. Okay, so this information is hidden or forbidden knowledge because Big Pharma and who follow the breadcrumbs, follow the money. Whoever's in charge, they would lose money if we remembered these truths. We are remembering how to heal ourselves as a society, as a world. So when the body forms cysts, like it envelops, you think we are told these fibroids, these cysts, these little lumps, these clumps, whatever. These are actually the body's way of protecting itself. These protective covers envelop the parasites in the eggs. Otherwise, when people do surgery, it's not good. It's not a good thing because it cuts it open and then it just releases all these parasites and eggs into the bloodstream. They call this cancer when it's just merely parasites. Parasites and toxins feed off of each other. This is why they must be eliminated at the same time, not one at a time. The cast of characters is like a syndicate, like a crime ring, a mafia, a criminal ring. If you arrest one, all the neighborhood is going to hear about it and try to flee. Oh no, I better run away. So you eradicate them all at the same time so no one flees. Everyone is accounted for. This slime nest, or the biofilm, the slime nest of pathogens is a breeding ground for multiple offenders such as viruses, toxins, bacteria, parasites, biofilm, metals, chemicals, endotoxins, die-off. Die-off meaning like the dead bodies of the parasites and pathogens, and continues to create more of themselves because they feed off of one another. Like, for example, when something dies, something else is excreted, other chemicals, other metals, and they just keep feeding each other. It's kind of disgusting. It's an ecosystem. Now let me show you some video clip here. Okay, we're at 32 minutes.
Here's the clip. More evidence. Here's some evidence. Did you guys see that? Let's go ahead and play that again real quick. Yep. That is going to be a tumor.
Gross.
And when, there we go, worms. Those are worms inside the tumor. That's why the body walls the parasites off. It actually becomes a defense mechanism to the parasites and the eggs. So the body is not going to attack it because the immune system isn't going to attack its own cyst or tumor.
Pause it and read the text.
Tumors are going to be parasites. So here's the document, which is a confidential document, which is actually 1948. So let's read it. There are reasons to believe that specific biological characteristics of malignant tumor tissues and parasite comprise the following elements, and it lists them right there. And then further here. So endoparasites and malignant tumors resemble each other in many respects by reason of similar conditions under which they grow and exist. This suggests long ago the idea in regard to parasitic.
The microparasites described by Dr. Weber that you can see here can be found in the tissue of all cancer patients. Some examples. Here you can see a blood sample that has been dried over a flame. The patient suffers from leukemia. Here you see the blood sample of a patient suffering from liver cancer. Here the blood of a patient with bladder cancer. And this is tissue from the bladder carcinoma. You can clearly see the lively movements of the microbes. Here the diagnosis is that of lymph node metastasis. This is an almost mature gamete. He can be found in the space between the cells. And here a blood sample after mammal surgery. You can see a dying leukocyte. Patient is suffering from breast cancer. Diagnosis, cell complex of an uterus tumor.
So you see when they zoom into this clip.
All right. All right. Where are we? See, it doesn't matter what disease you call it. Each organ that's affected shows parasites. And what does this mean for us? What does this mean for me? What does this mean for you in your health, in your healing journey? In 36 minutes. What does this mean? It means you can take your power back. You can reclaim your health. Your health is your wealth. If you don't have health, how can you enjoy life, yourself, your family, your loved ones? How can you enjoy the experiences you're having in life? I mean, do you want to go through life being bitter because you're in pain? You have the responsibility to heal yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, socially, politically. I mean, life can be rich, life can be full. It doesn't have to be limited in poverty consciousness and this division and war and unity and lack. When I say abundance and prosperity, I mean, it doesn't have to be struggle. You can feel pleasure, ease, expansion, joy. I feel like you have more than enough in everything, whether it be health, approval, self-confidence, self-esteem, love. You know, too many people I know in the world are bitter. They push people away. It's all this self-hatred. It's this perception of lack. I'm here to remind you that you have the power to make yourselves happy, healthy, and whole. You are allowed to. Let me repeat that. You are allowed to be happy, healthy, and whole. See, I know I'm talking about detoxification and parasites. And why am I going off on this tangent? Because most people will not heal themselves because they don't feel worthy of feeling these good, positive things such as happy, whole, and healthy, wealthy, joyful. They don't feel like they're allowed to feel those positive things. They don't feel worthy of it. People have to heal their traumas. People have to heal their self-worth and their self-esteem. No one is going to do that for them. That's self-responsibility. All right. Let that sink in. So how can we begin to apply these right away? These principles of detoxification. How do I detox my entire body? Okay, it requires adding probiotics to your diet, cutting out processed foods, fasting regularly with the circadian rhythm, drinking lots of water, sleeping well, sweating often, minimizing environmental exposures. I feel like I already said that. How many times have I said that? Okay. How else can we detox? Oh, I hope you're taking notes, by the way. Get your pens and papers out. Remove all seed oils. Remove processed foods. Stock up on foods that are whole foods without chemicals or toxins, as you know. Start implementing 1 or 2 lymphatic drainage activities. Choose from sauna, dry brushing, rebounding massage, hanging upside down, feet up on the wall, and exercise. You should be doing movement regularly every day on a daily basis. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. So I mentioned how to detox the entire body. All those different things the diet, the exercise. Now, oh, another level with the diet. Switch to organic. Look up the Dirty Dozen, see what you can afford. Last but not least, use detox and antiparasitics regularly. Here's the meat and potatoes, guys. Yes, get your pens and pencils out so you can take notes or whatever. Typing it wherever you take notes, however you take notes. What is a cleanse versus detox? So in layman's terms, a cleanse is just superficial, shorter term, and generally just focuses on the gut. A detox is long term, deeper, and detoxes the whole body on a cellular level. So all organs, tissues, and systems. Will doing a detox deplete my minerals? Okay, so there are many things you can use for detoxification. I will show you specifically what I have here. There's so many types of natural detoxes, like from chlorella, spirulina, zeolite, fulvic, activated charcoal, clay, different kinds of clay, like red clay, bentonite clay. There's diatomaceous earth. These are all like earth stuff, like clays, herbs, plants, minerals. These are all natural. And that's what's going back to, folks. Going back to the roots. What's the roots of disease? Parasites. How to heal, how to get rid of the parasites from your body. Going back to the roots, the earth, the plants, the herbs, ancient wisdom. How do I know what to go with? Like, how do I know what I can trust, who I can trust, and if I'm doing it right, and if it's not, if this herbal remedy is not toxic? How do we know? I like to go with people I trust because I got scammed. No, it's not cool to play on people who are desperate and wanting to heal things that are dire. Like, I want to keep living and I want to be able to wipe my own ass. I know I keep saying that, but I literally wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't get serious and figure out how to heal and get rid of certain parasites for multiple different diseases. And yeah, it sucks, but this is my training, and I wouldn't have the motivation or drive to learn and to be urgent enough to heal it if I didn't go through all these dire things. Sure, I shared some examples. Other examples I didn't share. And for sake of the video getting too long, I'm not going to share it anymore about that. But I did get scammed. And so it's very important for me to go with people and company and products that I know, like, and trust. Trust is such a high value, a number one priority for me in my life. Trust. I don't need to be scammed, wasting my money, or poison myself with fake products. I'm lucky I'm a smart cookie and I figure things out fast. So, I'm just grateful for that. Don't want to be poisoning myself with scam shit. Okay. What's a cleanse versus a detox? We went over that. Will it deplete my minerals? Well, like I said earlier, there's so many different kinds of detoxification ways, protocols, and binders. Like natural food binders, like, for example, chia seed, ground flaxseed, psyllium husk. Those are natural food binders. Let me focus on, let me share with you what I'm using now, because honestly, I was scared to use antiparasitics for fear of having a leaky gut again and going through all the excruciating emotional and physical pain of all the skin eruptions and just walking around wounded like no skin barrier, like as if I was a carrot and someone peeled the skin off the carrot and just felt stinging, like there was lemon and salt all over my wounds. Ugh, not cool, folks, but I'm just so grateful to be out of that experience. And, I know how to handle and manage it when or if it ever arises in myself or other people. So, hard knocks of life. Will it deplete my minerals? I didn't answer it directly because I talked about all these other different types of detoxification. What I recommend is to stick with one protocol and not mix it up, and just stick with one and do it right and go all the way. You can do other protocols too, but just do one at a time is what I'm trying to say. Don't do it the wrong way and then have an explosion of pain, leaky gut, and pathogens and toxic overload like I did, because I did the antiparasitics without the binders. And I was already in a weakened state and toxic overload before I even did use the antiparasitics. So that's what really tipped it over. Okay, will it deplete my minerals? It's always good to remineralize as a general rule of thumb when detoxing. Sea moss, sea vegetables, beef glands, beef organs, salts, minerals themselves as supplements and as food sources. I will show you what I'm using now because I wanted to do it the right way with binders, antiparasitics, which kills the parasites, with binders simultaneously together, harmoniously. And what was I going to say? I trust this company. Sure, there are many kinds of parasites and different kinds of herbs that will kill certain parasites. Let me show you how to start off. This 3-pack here is the toxin, heavy metal, and toxin detox. Look at this kit of 3. Oh, it's kind of dark, but that's okay. This is called Fulvic Minerals Plus. These are all from Touchstone Essentials. This is, Fulvic Minerals Plus. This remineralizes. This puts the minerals back into your body, into your system, so that you're not harming yourself. Because when you take the binders, these are zeolite binders. When you take the binders, it not only pulls out the toxins and the bad stuff, like glyphosates, microplastics, heavy metals, what have you. Different kinds of binders pull out different kinds of toxins. When you take these, this is for the gut. This is called Pure Body. This is zeolite. And the size of it, yes, Touchstone has used third-party laboratories to actually have research and test all their products to record the data. I'm tired. This is what I do at like midnight, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, because it's the only time I can get it done. So forgive me if I'm not cranking the words out as fast as I was before or at other times. Pure Body, and this is Pure Body Extra. Pure Body Extra is a spray. You use these 2 weeks at least, but 4 weeks, 1 month, even better, before you start taking the antiparasitic ParaShield. These are all from Touchstone Essentials. Okay, so 2 weeks minimum, but ideally you take this for 1 month. Let me show you the kit. This is Fulvic Minerals Plus. It has red algae, Fulvic derived from red algae, plus some zeolite. Fulvic Minerals Plus. This puts the good minerals back in so you don't get depleted. These 3 comes as a kit, all 3 of them together. This is zeolite. Pulls out the heavy metals and toxins. Zeolite is known specifically for pulling out heavy metals. This Pure Body is for the gut because it's a bigger size. Like I said, tested by third party in the lab. It has statistics, data shown. Research. Yes, I've looked at them. This is also zeolite. This is called Pure Body Extra. This one is called Pure Body. This is called Pure Body Extra. X because it's nano size. This is a spray. These 2 are droplets. Pure Body Extra is a spray because it's nano size. What does that mean? The zeolite, this is zeolite and water. This is zeolite and water. However, this is bigger molecules. The nano, the spray, is tinier molecules, so it goes into the bloodstream and it spreads. It detoxifies the whole body. This size of zeolite detoxifies the gut. This size detoxifies the whole body because it's smaller, so it gets to go beyond the gut, into the bloodstream, into everywhere else in the body, brain and body. So you take 4 sprays of these 3 times a day because it's effective for 6 hours, so you would like to do it every 6 hours or just, morning, noon, and night. You do this 4 droplets 3 times a day as well, so you can do them all at the same time. This you can do 1 dropper full 1 time a day or 1 dropper full 2 times a day. And this is refrigerated. So that's the kit. There's your binders. You start taking this 1 month before, at least 1 month before, I took it for more, before you do the antiparasitics, which is the ParaShield. I'm going over the timeline with you. Then I'll go over a little bit of the other stuff. So this proprietary herbal cleanse blend, it includes clove bud, ginger root, black walnut hull, barberry root, wormwood leaf, sweet wormwood leaf, and yuzu essential oil. Gotta take this for 21 days on, and then for the rest of the month, for 7 days, you have to be off, take a break from it. 7 days off because the wormwood is harsh on the kidneys. The kidneys need a break from the wormwood. And you do that for 3 months, or if you like to call it 3 rounds. Why? Because the cycle of the parasites is 75 days. So you have to do it for a minimum of 3 months. So when you get the ParaShield, make sure you get at least 3 bottles. 1 bottle is for 1 month or 21 days. ParaShield is the antiparasitic, the orange one. And these you take daily, nonstop, simultaneously. You take it 1 month before the ParaShield or antiparasitic, and you continue to take it daily during the 21 days of taking the ParaShield, and also on the 7 days off when you take a break or take off of the ParaShield. So you take this every day nonstop. The Fulvic Minerals Plus, and this has Fulvic Minerals and Zeolite. This is Zeolite bigger molecules for the gut. This is Zeolite nano-size, smaller molecules for the whole body. Okay. Let's see your questions. What is the Touchstone proprietary process? So raw zeolite, it's basically sediment, it's earth. It's like earth, clay, a rock. Excuse me. Raw zeolite is inert, ineffective. It doesn't do anything or react with anything because it's already full. What does that mean? I'm talking about like the ions and the attraction, and its carriers are already full of negatively charged ions and minerals. Raw zeolite needs to be cleaned first in order to be useful as a binder. Like its arms are full, it needs to be emptied out first. So that's what Touchstone Essentials does in its proprietary process. It cleans. What was that? Something fell? It cleans the zeolite so that zeolite is able to attract and bind, since it's a binder, bind and pull out the toxins. That's why it's important to be drinking a lot and resting and exercising and sleeping enough and hydrating, because when you're detoxing, you want to get it out. Get all the crap out. Okay, raw zeolite needs to be cleaned first in order to be useful as a binder to our human body for pulling out toxins. Hydrated aluminum silicate is the zeolite Touchstone Essentials uses. Added to the zeolite are positive ion minerals: calcium, magnesium, potassium, as their proprietary process. When you take the Fulvic Minerals Plus, it puts in good minerals made from red algae, and their proprietary zeolite, basically a clay, is also added to it. When you take zeolite for the gut, pure body droplets, it detoxes the gut. When you take nano-sized zeolite spray, pure body extra, it goes into bloodstream to detox the whole body. What toxins are pulled out, you ask? Microplastics, chemicals, toxins, metals, mold, parasites, pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and all their slimy biofilms they hide in, reside in, feed off of, proliferate in, and are protected in. Glyphosate, endocrine disruptors, bad hormone metabolites that need to be excreted and pulled out, you name it. Is it safe to take daily and long term? Yes. Yes, because like I said, they put in the calcium, the magnesium, the potassium. They put in, and the fulvic. They put in all these minerals, so you don't need to worry about your minerals being depleted. And if you want, of course, keep adding all this good stuff into your diet, such as probiotics and other minerals from like sea vegetables that has a lot of minerals, like sea moss and other sea vegetables like seaweed, things like that. Are there any precautions? Well, the company doesn't say this, but I will say this. If you have mold sickness in your body, take heed, because mold is a whole other beast in and of itself. Because you don't just eradicate it, mold actually fights back and creates more toxins than before you start killing it, which can be highly uncomfortable. To be safe, consult a mold-literate doctor. What are detox symptoms? And how do I ease into the detox process? When the body clears itself physiologically and energetically, whether it be through healing treatments like massage, Reiki, acupuncture, or binders like zeolite and antiparasitics, the body is expected to experience detox symptoms. The more heavy the load of toxin that you have, the better it could be to take it slower in dosage and dosage amount and frequency. Like For example, instead of taking 4 sprays 3 times a day, you could decrease it to like 1 spray 3 times a day and up the dosage and frequency as long as you can handle it, as long as it's comfortable. You don't want it to be so uncomfortable that you just stop the detox overall. And when I said that for the spray, I actually meant it for everything else. Like instead of 4 droplets 3 times a day, 1 or 2 dropperfuls 3 times a day, 4 sprays 3 times a day, you could do cut in half, maybe 2, maybe 1, maybe 3. Feel it out. See what your body's going through that day, that hour. Okay. Okay, so I did mention lowering the dosage and the frequency. If you need to. How do you know if you need to? Like, for example, when in the beginning I was going through such uncomfortable symptoms, like I was feeling like weak and unstable and low blood sugar and just extremely fatigued, exhausted, and whether you call it detox symptoms, uncomfortable discomfort, or Herxheimer, it doesn't matter what you call it. What I'm just saying is when you have these uncomfortable symptoms, you can ease it by decreasing the dosage and or the frequency. Why? Because you want to get to a place where the uncomfortable symptoms are more manageable and you can still function in your daily life to like go to work and do daily living activities. That's what I'm talking about. Like if it's just mild, you can handle it, that's okay. But if it's too much, too overwhelming, that's when you want to try to tweak it. You can also extend the treatment longer term so you can handle the uneasiness and go the long haul successfully rather than quitting because it's too much suffering to handle, too intense in a shortened amount of time. Headaches, body muscle aches, lethargy, brain fog, nausea, weakness, shakiness could be possible detox symptoms. Think of quitting sugar, coffee, caffeine, or drugs after having your system regulated for years or decades. The body has to readjust to its thermostat to a more clean lifestyle. Change is usually uncomfortable, and if it's done too intensely without support. What kind of support? What do I mean by support? Number 1, awareness. That's why I'm talking about this. Number 2, taking supportive actions to minimize detox symptoms. That can bring you more peace of mind and ease to your detox process. The support actions are what we just discussed prior to detox. The first supportive action we discussed is to eat or not to eat. That was in video 1. The second supportive action we discussed is pump it. Oh, shoot. Pump it. The lymphatic system, movement within and without your body. Lymphatics and filtration. The third and final supportive action is this video. Oh, fell on the floor. No, I'm not going to find the page. It's already late. It's dark. I'm not going to look for the page. What I was going to hold up is, for the third and final supportive action, Pac-Man and crew. Pretend I'm holding it up. In other words, detox and antiparasitics. Antiparasitics. Detox, the binders. Okay, so the antiparasitics, you take this ParaShield for 21 days, and then you get off of it for 7 days, for at least 3 months or 3 rounds. Like I said, 75-day cycle for the parasites. You know, they keep dying, they keep making babies, there's eggs. So that's why you have to keep going for 3 rounds at least, minimum. After that, oh, and that's for people who are just doing a general cleanse, a general detox. For people who have chronic issues, chronic diseases, you can do longer and more heavy loads. Like, instead of 3 months, you can do like 6 months or a year. Figure it out along the way. So the 3 rounds or the 3 months, that's for people who are just doing a general cleanse. But if you have diseases that, and you have more toxic overload, like cancer, autism, clearing yourself of vaccinations, you probably want to do it for the longer term. Doing this for 6 rounds or 6 months or 1 year or 12 months. It's safe as long as you have the 7 days off each and every round to give your kidneys a rest from the wormwood. You can do a liver flush on the off days. What do I mean? The off days for the ParaShield. The 7 days. You're on for 21, off for 7. That's round 1. Round 2, on for 21, off for 7. That's, did I say round 1? Round 1, round 2, round 3. So it's just repetitive. I hope that was clear. So, month 1 or round 1, 21 days on ParaShield, 7 days off. Start of round 2, 21 days on, 7 days off. Start of round 3, 21 days on, 7 days off. End of round 3. And then just repeat, rinse and repeat for, like, if you need to, 6 months, 1 year, whatever, until your symptoms improve, your cancer goes away, or the parasites are all gone or dead. And it's not just that. It's regular maintenance. Once you cleared the big chronic disease, the big overload. Oh, I said you can do a liver flush on the off days. The off days of the antiparasitic or the ParaShield is the 7 days. Liver flush is usually, well, you can call it day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 1 is the preparation with the pectin and apples and or apple juice. Day 2 is when you actually take the solution, the smoothie of, the Epsom salts and all that, the other stuff like the olive oil and the grapefruit juice, the grapefruit. And then the 3rd day is the diarrhea day, expulsion day. So within those 7 days off, plan to fit in the 3 days for your liver flush. And you don't have to do it each and every time because it'll pull it out more. It'll pull the parasites and toxins out even more on your off days. But you can also figure it out, like, for each individual, like what your body needs. You can do muscle testing. You can use your intuition and muscle testing. Kinesiology. I don't do the liver flush each and every round. I have to figure out when I'm supposed to do it and when I'm supposed to take a break from it, the liver flush. It's great to clear the vaccines, heal autism and other chronic diseases like autoimmune diseases, which is basically toxic overload imbalance, and cancers, basically infection of parasites or to overload of parasites. That's why it's great to do it longer term, this protocol. So I show you the herbs, antiparasitics, herbal antiparasitics, and I show you the binders. The zapper is the second solution to killing parasites in addition to the herbs. The zapper, there's many names, different makes and models. The zapper, the Rife machine, the frequency generator. It doesn't matter what you call it. They all do the same thing. And there's different settings like the frequency, the hertz, because each parasite will be killed at a certain range. So you adjust the machine so that you can do the zapping a certain number of times. Each parasite and paired toxin with the parasite that thrive off of each other has an affinity for a specific organ. They call this name a disease when it's just parasites. For example, diabetes, Parkinson's, pancreatic cancer. Every parasite has a frequency that it can be killed at. There's also a protocol for zapping for how long, how many minutes per session, over how many weeks or months. This will be continued for later by me. So stay tuned if you want to know. I know it takes me a while, but I don't have a date, but this will be continued for later. Meaning the zapping part. The zapping part to kill the parasites. Right now I'm just showing you the antiparasitics with the binders. The herbal antiparasitics. So if you want major savings on your first order, use my links to receive the major savings. To your health, reclaim your power. If you want to study more of this, Dr. Hulda Clark. She's she's my teacher, and there's other people. I don't have all their names off the top of my head, but like you can go and become a patron of our Patreon, patreon.com/Bear and Rainbow Shamanic Healers, and I think it's $15 a month. You can see the other proponents, the other doctors who already know that parasites are cancers and how to get rid of them, how to kill them, how to heal your body, how to heal all the diseases in your body by getting rid of these parasites, pathogens, and toxins. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have gotten something out of this. And, gosh, it's a little over an hour already. Hour and 13 minutes. What else do I need to say? I guess that's it. Let me just recap. Oh, you know what? Did I go over everything? Or did I just start talking? Let me see. If you want to know more about what happened with the medical system and how it got eradicated and changed and distorted and misinformed from the 1800s to now, follow the breadcrumbs, follow the money. And look up certain keywords like how the medical industry was hijacked, the Rockefeller takeover, the suppression of natural healing. Look up deworming protocol, medical history books, 1800s. Heck, you may even find it faster than me refinding it. finding this research. And look at parasites. Look up the books. Look up these keywords. Look up these keywords with deworming protocols. And, just educate yourselves. You don't have to believe what I tell you. I want you to do your own research and figure out what works for you. You'll never know until you try. So I'm just letting you know I'm really impressed and healing. I've healed so many of my autoimmune diseases. It's not even funny. It's like before one even ends 100%, another training, another challenge comes up. It's like, are you kidding me? This is like, give me a break, universe. But anyways, I'm here. I know this is controversial for some people, but for those of you who already know and believe in this stuff and, it resonates with you, feel free to reach out, ask me questions. And I do have my links there. Like I said, it'll totally help you out. How much is it? I think it's like 50 to 75% off for the first order. It's a big savings. So use my links. That way you can really benefit off of the first order. And remember, this is something that you'll be using daily, these binders, the Zeolite and the Fulvic. And then this, I know what I was going to say now with regards to the full moon. What was I going to say even before that? I'm like thinking of two things at the same time. After you're done with a big chunk of healing, like your very first cleanse, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, what have you. After that, you don't have to take this for a big chunk of 3 months again so soon. What you can do is just take this for 7 days. Yeah, it's flipped, it's switched. Instead of 21 days, only for 7 days. And take it around the same time revolving around the full moon. Why? Because studies have shown, and I know this is disgusting, but from my own personal experience as well, I can attest to it. Yeah, the studies are right. The parasites detach during the full moon, so they're more vulnerable and they're weaker. They detach from the gut and the body because in different parts of the body, wherever they're at, because there are many different systems, whether it be skin, blood, brain, different organs, the gut. See, the point is they detach not just on the full moon, but like before and after, during the full moon. And it's really disgusting. Like I said, I can attest. I can feel it. It's gross. It's disgusting. You can see it, whether it be exiting from different parts of your body, like the poop, wherever, here, there, everywhere, up, down, all around, everywhere. And other people have taken this for rounds of not just 3, but 4 or longer because they still saw worms. They were still pooping out worms. Yeah, because they keep replicating, they keep making babies. There's eggs, there's cycles. So you don't get all of them in the first round. You have to do it in 3 rounds. But if there's still more, keep going. It's okay, it's safe. You can keep going for even a 4th round or a 4th month. So the first time you take it is the big kahuna. And then after that, you can just do maintenance like, okay, do it maybe a 2nd time that year. Who knows, maybe a 3rd time. It really depends on you and your lifestyle and how much toxins you keep taking in and not letting go of. But like I said, once you're done with the first big chunk you don't have to do the 21 days. You can just take this ParaShield antiparasitic for 7 days in and around, revolving around the full moon. Because the parasites are most vulnerable because they detach, because they want to replicate, they want to have sex. They want to fornicate, they want to copulate. And they're gross. You can feel them. They're itchy and disgusting. You can see them, you can feel them. Yeah. So when I'm done with my big chunks of time with this and rounds, I will be doing that just the 7 days around the full moon. Scheduling this around the full moon on the 7 days. Oh, I know what else I wanted to share. Why did I take longer? So with regards to the full moon, this is a different aspect now. How to schedule it on your calendar. So find out all the dates of the full moon for the next year, for the next 2 years. Yes, go that long. Because I could have taken it 2 weeks, 1 month after. I could have started my antiparasitics 1 month after this heavy metal and toxin detox kit. But I didn't. I waited longer because when I looked at the full moon, it was more in alignment with, I put myself in my schedule with these medicines, with these supplements. Okay, I need a calendar. I don't have it. No, I could get it. How do I explain this? Diagram. We're at 1 hour and 21 minutes. Let me see how I can diagram this. Seven days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Okay, this is a calendar that I just drew right now on the fly. Let's pretend, I know there's no month or dates, but let's pretend this is the full moon. So you'd want to schedule your days for taking the antiparasitic 1 week before the full moon. It's taking me a while remembering all the details, and it's, like I said, it's late. Oh, what does Rainbow do at midnight, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning? Do stuff like this because my chance. It's my me time. It's my chance to actually do this for you. So, you see this? Let's pretend this is the full moon. Let's go backwards. Okay, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does it have to be exact? No. Approximate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So start taking this antiparasitic named ParaShield from Touchstone Essentials on this day. Was that the day? Or that? Well, anyways, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why? Why 1 week before the full moon? Because that way you're really killing them. It's like a 1-2 punch, like you're boxing. It's using strategies. Letting it be really strong. Like, what I'm trying to say is you really don't want this to be your off days, because this is when they're most vulnerable and weakest, because they detach from wherever, the gut, the anus, wherever, the whatever organs and tissues. They detach on the full moon. Actually, on or around the full moon, a little bit before, a little bit after. So that's when you really want to be on the ParaShield, so you can really knock them out. So don't start it on the full moon day. Start it before the full moon day, like 1 week approximately, 1 week or so before the full moon, because you want to be on the ParaShield before the full moon, like even 4 days before, if not 7 days, and a little bit even after. You get it? Because if you are on your off days, see the ParaShield and the ParaShield, you got to take it for 21 days on, 7 days off. The most important thing is do not be off of ParaShield around this time, because that's the best time to kill them, because they're vulnerable. Okay? That's what I wanted to say. Now it feels like it's over. Dun dun dun! If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. I hope I explained that clearly, well enough. If not, well, you can figure it out with other people and or ask me. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you gained a lot from this, and now I can die without the song being stuck or trapped in my soul. Ah! Check out my links. Feel free to share your experiences and or ask me questions. And as always, do be respectful. We all have different perspectives. We all have different ways of getting to our successes. Okay, bye-bye for now. Healing, it is all that is.